So I'm using Padron Peppers. You might know them as grilling peppers. It depends on where you're buying them. This recipe is usually made with Poblano peppers, but I cannot find them here, or I cannot find them fresh. So basically you can do this recipe with any pepper or any kind of chili you have at hand. You can do it with jalapeno also if they're not too spicy for you. You can do it with whatever you like. I put them in the pan and we're burning a bit the skin, like we're getting this charred color. It will help bringing out the flavors from these peppers. You can see the color, how it starts changing. We don't want to burn them completely. We just want to, you know, have a few of these like charred spots on them. Just leave them there. Listen how they do this clicking noise. They'll start moving by themselves. It's like all the seeds going crazy there. You'll see when we open them, sometimes they become a bit dark. It doesn't matter. The point is, this pan is medium, on medium fire. You can see here this color. This is kind of like the max we want. We don't want it completely dark. And I'm using feta cheese. It's kind of salad cheese. It's not real feta, but it's pretty good for this. It's a bit salty. That's why I choose this kind of cheese. You can use whatever you want. You can use fresh cheese. You can use some manchego cheese. You just chop it in this kind of small sticks, because it will make things easier for you. You will take the chili and you will make just one cut. And I try to make this cut on the most uneven side, because it will make it easier if you have an uneven base to just stuff the cheese in there. I'm opening this and you will see how the seeds are in there. Some peppers have more, some peppers have less seeds, but I'd always try to take them off with this spoon or with the hand or whatever it is. You don't have to completely remove everything, but it's not nice when you bite into the chili and you have like a mouthful of seeds. They might go into your teeth, like in between your teeth. Just take them off as good as you can. With some practice it will become really easy. The first one is always tricky. Now I'm gonna try to show you. This slide is not helping much, but you look a bit into it. There's a couple seeds in there. It's still fine. Doesn't have to be perfect. Just take the sticks, start putting it in there. You can use whatever cheese you want. I like this one because it's really salty, has a lot of flavor. But if you use, for example, manchego or gouda or mozzarella or whatever, it will melt really nicely. Gives it a nice touch. So you want to close as good as you can. Like the chili, it doesn't have to be perfect. It's not gonna close perfectly, but try to keep it as nicely as you can. You will see this is the final result. It doesn't matter if you can see the cheese. At the end, when we finish cooking them, it will be all fine. Here we have all the seeds, a bit of this like strings the chili has inside. If you're making a spicier one, it helps removing the spiciness out of it. Now we're gonna make a foam, an egg foam for the outside of the chilies. For this we have to separate egg whites and the yolk. We'll put it back together later, but the process really needs for you to divide this. I try to use the shell of the egg. It will make it quite easy. Some people find it a bit tricky. I've seen tricks with the bottle. Just do it however you want. Get the two separate elements and just put the whites on the bowl. And I'm using a hand mixer. You can do it by hand. It will take very long, but I mean, if you want to do it and get a huge arm, or you have a huge arm, it's up to you. I'm using this mixer. It will make it very fast. I just start going at it. You put a couple drops of lime juice. That's a bit of a trick. It will help the whites come up faster. You might have done this already at some point for some desserts. It will start getting very thick. And once it's on the perfect spot, then you add the yolk. If you have the both components, you will never get this texture. That's why you have to divide them. But now you just mix it. The texture, you will notice it gets a bit more runny. It doesn't matter as long as you still get the foam. We'll just make sure it's really well mixed. Now it's perfect. We're gonna cover our chilies with that, or our peppers, but we're gonna need some flour. The flour will help remove a bit of the moist and make the egg to stick really to our chilies. You just roll them there. Doesn't have to be perfect. Just make sure there's flour everywhere. I use normal flour, and then you coat the chili with the egg. See how nice it looks? Really even. Doesn't have to be perfect again, but the more even it gets, the nicer it will look at the end. Here I have a pan, also kind of low. The stove has 6 levels. I'm using a 2. Some oil, and you just put them there. Put them very carefully. If you drop it there, it will make a mess. If you put it slowly, then your chili will get this coat. We're gonna turn it now, and look at that color. It's just beautiful. We're trying to make the whole chili have that kind of golden texture around it. If you have a deep fryer, you can do it in the deep fryer. It will be really even, really round, very pretty. I don't have one. You can also fill the pan with the oil, make it a bit easier on yourself. But this is the way I like to do it. Then I just put it on top of a paper, and look at that. The egg has a perfect color, this golden brownish. The texture is really nice. It's really puffy. When you bite into it, it will be a mouthful, like with the chili, a bit of this foamy texture. It's very unique. Now that the peppers are ready, I'm gonna make a sauce for them. I like using a lot of onion, so you get this chunky kind of sauce. I use this size of strings. You can also chop it into smaller pieces if you don't like it so much. Use a little less onion. I have a pot on the fire already. It's on a level 3 out of 6, so it will be a medium. I just use a bit of oil into it, and just throw the onion in there. I'm gonna cook the onion until it gets into this a bit see-through color. You just move it from time to time. It's gonna take a while, take your time. Now we can see that the onion has reached the color we want. And I'm gonna use this crushed tomato, ready-made. I would usually use fresh tomatoes, put them in the blender, some water, some salt, blend them, throw them in, maybe strain them a bit. For this sauce, since it's a quick thing, I'm gonna use this ready-made. I'm gonna add also the same amount of water. Just mix everything. We're gonna add some spices. I don't want it to be too spicy, because the chilies and or peppers are gonna be the star of the dish. So for now I'm just adding a bit of oregano. I smash it a bit with the hands because sometimes it comes in these large flakes I don't love. I'm gonna throw in some salt also, and just to give it a bit of flavor I'm gonna throw in one of these cubes of chicken broth. If you have cooked some chicken and you have the broth, you can use that instead of the water. Of course it's better. So we just throw it in there. And I also have this chipotle sauce, or some chipotle chilies on the fridge, some left over. I'm gonna throw those in there. You can also use some other kind of chili if you want it to spice it up a bit. You can also use some dried chili to give some taste. But as I said, it's a very simple sauce, something you just boil for maybe 10-15 minutes tops. Here we can see that it's already boiling, and we can see the texture. It has a lot of onion, so it's gonna be a very chunky sauce. I like it that way for stuffed peppers. Some people like it very liquid and boil the chilies in there. I just prefer to put this like thick sauce on top of them. And this is the final result. Look at how beautiful the colors look, the textures. I'm gonna cut into it so you can see all the layers in there, the pepper, the cheese, this egg coating we made, the sauce. It's just perfect, it tastes great. It's one of my favorite dishes. So, if you like the video, subscribe, press like, and don't forget to share it. See you in the next one.